Yo guys, what's going on? It's Daily Tactics here, back with another Ask Daily episode. This is an ongoing series where you guys ask me questions either on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, or this video's comment section, and I respond to them in video form, like this. If you guys enjoy the series or have any questions, be sure to comment down below, like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe. But either way, let's get right on into this week's questions. Question number 1 comes from JGMT Triggered, who asks, I have a question. How many of the 501st Battle Packs will you get when it is released in August? Now, he is referring to the LEGO 501st Battle Packs, which are very, very hyped up. People are very excited about these things coming out, and I have to say I'm pretty excited as well. I'm definitely going to be at least getting one. I thought maybe doing a video where like I build 10 of them would be kind of cool and legendary and stuff like that, and it'd just be like super awesome, but it seems a little gluttonous to me. It would cost a lot of money too, like probably, how much are they? 30 bucks? So if you did 10, you'd be spending $300 plus tax. You'd probably be looking at like $350 or something like that. So it would definitely be a very expensive video, and in one video I would never make that money back, but it would still be kind of cool. So I might do that just to bulk up the clone army in terms of its 501st troopers, because that's where the real value is in these things, is the minifigures. I mean, if you get 4 501st minifigures in a battle pack, that is phenomenal. And those things are very expensive. So in, 5 or 6 years, when they retire the set or whatever, they'll jump up in value and they'll be worth a lot more. So in terms of like longevity, these clone troopers are probably going to be timeless, because they probably won't use all of them in further sets, and so the value of the minifigures in time will probably equal the value of the set. So if you ever wanted to sell the minifigs in the future, you'd get your money back. But in order to do that, you'd have to hold on to them for a very long time and also keep them in good condition and things like that. So in reality, I might buy 1 or 2. Well, I'll definitely buy 1 or 2, but then I might buy 10 just to do a fun like army building video. I don't really want that many of the vehicles in the set, to be honest. I really just want the minifigures, which is kind of what battle packs are for, if we're being completely honest, for the minifigures. So yeah, I'm contemplating buying 10. In terms of how many you guys should buy, if you're a big LEGO Clone Army collector and you really love the 501st, this is like awesome, and it's a good value for it, so why not just buy a ton of them if you can. And of course, if you keep them sealed and in 10 years you decide to sell them, you'll probably make a little bit of a profit, but you're going to be taking up a lot of space in your storage areas and things like that. So I'm not sure if it's exactly that great of an investment. Honestly, it would be interesting to do like a LEGO investing video, the idea of investing in LEGO and profiting after multiple years instead of, say, investing in stocks or things like that. Could be kind of interesting. I've definitely thought about it a lot, but yeah, we could elaborate that further in a different video. Next question we got comes from Carter Convey, who asks, what is your favorite Star Wars movie? I have to go with The Empire Strikes Back. It's just an all-time classic, a perfect 10 out of 10 movie in my eyes. Beautifully shot, beautifully done, excellent story, great character development, all around just a wonderful film. Next up, Jack Sparrow 999 asks, if you were to have full control of Commander Cody's life after the Clone Wars, what would he do? This is interesting. Commander Cody is my favorite clone commander, and I actually like what they did with him. I think it's only in Legends right now, but in Legends they said that he ended up basically just training a bunch of stormtroopers, not necessarily clones, but recruits of the stormtrooper army, and he ended up having a bunch of disdain for them because they weren't the clones of the Clone Wars. He was very biased towards his own people, and so I think that's a really interesting arc, and very fitting for his character, living through the glory days of the Clone Wars only to be, training these dumb soldiers who aren't nearly as good as him. So I would say I would keep that arc, but then maybe have him rebel against the Empire. One day he's just absolutely sick of it. He hates it, and maybe he finds out Rex is alive or Wolf is alive, things like that, and he decides, you know what? I'm gonna go away from this life and go join my boys or something like that. I think that'd be interesting. Next question comes from Mika Gould, who asks, how is progress going on the Lego stop motion specifically? Not the army building, but I love that too. And XCOM feeling more infrequent. Are you not having as much fun with it, or are the videos taking a long time to make? So as for the Lego stop motion, progress has been pretty bad, to be completely honest. I shot some stuff and then hated it and deleted it, and we're back to square one right now. I'm feeling a little confused as to what to do right now. I do have some ideas, but I just haven't really broken down and started executing them. So it's slow going for the sequel to the stop motion, but I will keep you guys informed as time goes on. And as for XCOM 2, XCOM 2 is going to be a weekly series. That's what it always was. I used to sometimes sprinkle it in twice a week, but I'd really like it to be a once a week series, do 45 minutes to an hour long video on it. I have a ton of fun of it, but I feel like the channel gets burnt out if I do it too often, and I get burnt out if I do it too often. So I am loving it right now, and really I only do it once a week just to sort of manage those expectations and keep it fresh in my mind instead of getting tired of playing it. So XCOM will definitely continue because I love that game and I love playing it, but probably just a once a week sort of thing. Next up, Timmy Berger asks, Daley, what are your top 3 favorite Clone Wars arcs and why? I really like the Ryloth arc where the Waxer and Boyle have to go in and save the girl and things like that. And I also like the Mace Windu part of that arc as well. Though that arc, just because of those 2 episodes, is amazing. I love Mace Windu and Commander Pons working together, and him sort of having a convoy trying to make it to the city and things like that, and then meeting up with the Resistance fighters and things. I really like that. I thought that was cool. And then I really liked Obi-Wan and Commander Cody and Waxer and Boyle's part of the arc, where we get a really down-to-earth sort of human interaction with the locals of Ryloth and things like that. I thought that arc was just amazing. I also love the Umbara arc for obvious reasons. People adore Umbara, and I fully understand why. And then finally, I think I'd have to just toss in the Siege of Mandalore arc. It's brand new, but God, it is so good. Such a great arc. Honestly, I love the Siege of Mandalore. Next up, Kitex GD asks, how long in the Star Wars timeline do you think Ricos Brigade will last? So I don't think he's asking how many seasons there will be, but rather at what point does it sort of stop? And this is sort of a confusing thing. The timeline for Ricos Brigade falls in an awkward time in between events where it's sort of like Luke and Leia aren't really grown up yet, and it's not quite A New Hope, but we still see some characters from that era, like Bail Organa and stuff like that. So it's a weird like in-between time between the prequels and the original trilogy. I'm contemplating adding Luke and Leia towards the end, which could be really interesting to see them, but at the same time, I feel like it wouldn't make too much sense. Not that Ricos Brigade has ever really made that much sense. It's sort of part of the fun is just having it be zany and kind of weird and off the beaten path that, regular canonical Star Wars would ever go. But it does feel very odd to sort of include original trilogy characters when we're not that far away from the prequels. So I don't really know. It certainly won't go into First Order territory. Unless we do something weird where, like, the First Order gets invented early or something. It would be kind of cool to have First Order troopers in it. But I'm not sure if I want to go that far, In terms of number of seasons, I've said it time and again, I think 5. I think 5 is where we're going to cap out. 5 and perhaps an added project afterwards that I'm keeping under wraps, so I'm sure you can guess what I mean. All right, next question. Okay, Shelly Ray asks, why does everybody hate Solo: A Star Wars Story? I love that movie. In fact, I love every Star Wars movie, the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy. I love Rogue One, and I also love The Clone Wars, The Mandalorian, and Rebels. I love everything Star Wars. Excuse my rant. I think this is the best kind of fan. The fan that just loves everything, doesn't even care. It's just new Star Wars, and it's awesome. And I really wish I could be that fan, I really wish I could. I have a lot of criticisms for Disney Star Wars. I think they've gone wrong a few times, but to your original question, Solo: A Star Wars Story, I don't hate it. I think that's a great movie, actually. It got hate early on because the production of that movie was an absolute mess. Firing directors, rewriting scripts, hiring new directors late into the game after shooting's already been done, having to have acting coaches on set. It was a messy movie. So that sort of made this preemptive hate come out for the movie that was kind of unfounded, because I think movies should only be judged on the final product, in which Solo: A Star Wars Story ended up being a really fun adventure. It still ended up having some problems. I didn't like the character choices for the most part. I felt like the actor who played Han was not fantastic. I would have picked a different Han. And then Childish Gambino as, or rather Donald Glover, as his non-rapper persona. As Lando, it made sense, but I don't think he pulled it off super well. I felt like it was very much an actor trying to be as cool as Billy D. Williams and just not pulling it off. But I appreciate the effort that Childish Gambino put into that, because he is a great actor. And yeah, overall, the movie was fun. It was cool, but I did have some reservations about it. But overall, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Ask Daily. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to ask me some more questions in Discord, Instagram, Twitter, the comment section of this video. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much, guys. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.